I think it might have also been like a competition. Like, hey, did you see that spider Carl did? I'm gonna do a big bird instead. Like he's kind of outdoing each other.
Yeah, it's like a neighborhood thing. It's like, oh, I'm gonna make a whale.
Yeah.
Screw Ted. He sucks. You see his spider?
Ted.
His head's all wonky.
Yeah.
And then there's like you had to be a show off. Had to make the astronaut man.
Right.
God, it never ends. Humans are always trying to one up each other.
Yeah.
Some guys are like, I'm gonna make a straight line. Like, you can't make a straight line.
I'll do a trapezoid then.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna do a monkey.
My line's gonna be straighter than yours. They're just probably so bored, waiting for traders to show up.
Yeah. With food, probably just losing their minds because dehydrated.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mysterious Pals. My name is Chris, and I'm here with a guy who I had a dream about last night that you were the owner and proprietor of a used mattress store, and you were doing quite well for yourself, actually. You're pretty successful. And then I woke up, and I had to go to work. And I thought, that was a weird dream.
Yeah.
And that guy in my dream was Jordan. Not my first dream that I've had Jordan in, but
right.
It won't be my last. Thank you for being here.
Thanks.
It's great to have you back.
We'll have to do this on the side because my used mattress business isn't doing so good these days.
Yeah, maybe we can record right in the warehouse. Used mattress? Do they have that? Used mattresses?
I don't know. I hope not. That'd be terrible.
Could you? I guess people do buy used mattresses, right?
I'm sure. Yeah, like on Craigslist and stuff like that, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
Do people still use Craigslist? I've never used it.
I actually did a deep dive in Craigslist recently, and it's like a real company with people work there, like lots of people apparently. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it still works. I was learning about their structure and how they make money, and it's pretty lucrative apparently.
Like as a company?
Yeah, like they charge for posting like apartment listings in New York City. That's like one of the ways they make money. And then like certain posts, like obviously anybody can go on there and sell anything and buy anything, but like only certain places they charge the post listings for like housing and stuff, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, because I mean, then there was all those apps that came out recently, like the last couple of years, not recently, but last couple of years, like OfferUp and like those type of apps that were specifically dedicated to buying and selling stuff like between people, like Facebook Marketplace is like the big one now. So those things kind of went belly up. Like the big one, I made some money off those once from selling just random crap when I was moving, but like.
Were you saying Facebook Marketplace went belly up?
No, like OfferUp. There's like apps people don't really use them as much anymore. I don't know why. But Facebook Marketplace apparently is the new hot place to go for buying and selling. Craigslist is still out there. I have a guy I work with that sells crap on there constantly.
What is he selling?
Antiques.
Oh yeah.
He buys something at auctions. It's like his entire life. Buys stuff at auctions, sells it. He'll buy it for like $3 and sell it for like $400. Yeah. He knows what to look for though. He gets like really unique crap and knows how to sell it. But that's all he does. That's like his big hobby. Buying and selling, going to yard sales and like auctions all the time. And he makes money. Yeah, I mean, seems like a lot of work.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna talk about some more work with our. Speaking of work, let's get down to the show because people complain we talk too much in the beginning. Tangents central. I cut out a lot of tangents in the last week's episode, and this episode's going up after the hell that was the sadness and hell of researching the sadness of the story of the Zodiac Killer. So I'm glad to take a seat back, let Jordan drive this car into the ditch this week after we got it towed out last week from me. We want to thank Brian, who was here last week. Please go check out
Bunker Brian.
He was here. He had a bug got in. He burned the place down, so he had to rebuild his bunker.
Get all his fluids back.
Yeah, but he's out there. And we thank him again for being with us last time for 2 episodes in a row, which was a hell of a undertaking. Zodiac Killer.
Yeah, there's like a lot of like being a tangent.
So much stuff. Yeah, but I cut out a lot of those tangents.
Yeah, that's right.
But there's
Power
so
Ranger
much
stuff.
Yeah, we'll put that in some extra stuff later. We have some plans. Anyway, Jordan, where are we going to be going this week on this fantastic show that I'm here to listen to.
Well, normally, lately we've been doing a lot of dark kind of stuff. Like,
oh, God.
like, that's kind of like been our thing for a while.
Yeah.
So this is going to be not like that.
Oh, good.
Not necessarily to be
happy?
Like, not necessarily like happy, like, woo, yeah, that's fun, but like, you know, not
as
necessarily
as,
going.
Yeah, that was a depressing
the dark
couple weeks
side of mankind.
It was a depressing couple weeks researching the Zodiac Killer.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah, it was depressing. I mean, I'd imagine you do the same stuff whenever you research any other murder episodes you did. Yeah.
God. People are obsessed with that stuff, though.
Yeah.
I can't.
Horrifying.
Yeah. I know we've done a lot of that stuff, but I can't, like, I don't know. I can't get into a lot of those murder podcasts and stuff like that.
I can listen to like one and then I got to take a break.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I can't just like do it back to back to back to back.
No, mama, no.
No, mama, no.
Mama, no. Poppy, where are we going?
Well, this week, Chris, our mystery begins with, and I would say we're going to get into like dark stuff, but
oh, here we go.
This the very beginning.
We like pulled up the plane a little bit, then just like straight back down.
Our mystery begins in the mid-16th century with the Spanish conquistador.
Oh God! wait. Conquistadors, as in the ones that came to Americas.
The Americas. Yep.
Oh, good. Here we go. We have more cheery episode.
This is very brief. This is just like
the genocide of you. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. We'll just quickly go. We'll quickly brush past that. The Spanish conquistador in the 16th century. His name was Pedro Cieza de Leon. I think I did that pretty well.
Do it again.
No. Well,
wait. It's Pedro
Cieza de Leon. I might be
Cieza de Leon.
I might be not saying that right at all, but I feel like I.
A pretty cool name.
Said it. Like I knew what I was talking about.
You kind of blew right through it. It's like,
yeah.
I'm the one that stopped you. Yeah, go ahead. You were on a roll.
Cieza de Leon arrived in South America in 1532 and participated in several expeditions throughout the region as part of the Spanish conquest of the Americas. But Leon mainly traveled Peru. He traveled extensively, documenting his observations and interactions with the indigenous peoples.
Where is Peru?
South America. What, like
and this will be the last episode of Serious Files. Well, in
the
like
western
relation,
coast of South America, like along like the
Chile's all the way over there.
Yeah,
Chile is all the way over, and Argentina's over there, right?
Yeah. Yes, I believe so.
And Peru, is it one of the smaller ones?
It's like a long, like kind of thinner one, I think.
Okay.
Oh man,
Where's the one where they have to? I'll put a map up if I got time. Where's the one where they have to like chew coca leaves because there's such a high elevation?
I don't
Colombia?
know. Colombia, maybe.
Okay.
I mean, that's where a lot of cocoa comes from.
Okay. I know they chew it. Yeah, I know they chew it to like.
Is that right?
Yeah, because it's like they're so high in elevation. Apparently, they use that as a way to help them with that. It's like,
really?
I think. Anyway, I don't know anything about drugs. Go ahead.
That's a good thing, Chris.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how it works.
Leon's most famous work is the Chronicles of Peru, which provides valuable insights on the Inca civilization.
Incas,
yeah. They got wiped out, unfortunately, for the most part.
Incas and the Mayans were different.
Yeah, and
right?
Aztecs, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Aztecs.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so he was fascinated with the Incas when he heard about them, so he would want to travel to Peru. I don't know if this guy particularly took part in, like, slaughtering an entire civilization, but apparently he did lament in his book that the decline of the Incas being so decimated. But anyways.
As he rode through them, man, this kind of sucks.
Mowing them down.
Yeah.
But it's in this work that there's a first written recording on the topic of today's mystery of something unique that would later confuse scholars for decades.
Confuse them?
Yes.
Okay, so this guy wrote this and they're confused by what he wrote or what he wrote about?
What he wrote about, yeah.
Okay.
Like the first instance of this ever being recorded, because it's the Nazca Lines.
We're taking a ride down the Nazca Lines.
Yeah.
Does that go back to the coca plant?
No.
Okay.
There is a drug plant we will talk about later. But
the Nazca Lines are in Peru.
In Peru, yep.
Okay.
The Nazca Lines are located in the Nazca Desert, a region of southern Peru, about 400 kilometers or 248 miles south of Lima, the capital of Peru. It's characterized by its arid climate and unique geological features. Spanning an area of approximately 500 square kilometers or 193 square miles, the lines consist of hundreds of geoglyphs etched into the desert floor. Believed to be created between 500 BCE and 500 CE, so over a span of 1,000 years. The Nazca Lines consist of geometric shapes such as lines, triangles, and trapezoids, as well as more than 70 animal and plant figures, including hummingbirds, spiders, monkeys, whales, and trees, and even humanoid-looking figures.
What's a geoglyph?
It's something that's like etched into the ground.
Okay, so these are things that are etched into the ground.
And this desert place.
What was the timeline again?
It's believed that they were created between 500 BCE and 500 CE.
Oh, okay. So over
span, like constant, like they're constantly being like created.
Okay, so this was a specific group.
Yes.
That were making this, and
yeah,
you'll probably go into this, but he's attributing this to Incas.
So he's the first one to see to like written because like when
did he show up?
He showed up in 1500s.
Okay, so that's a long time for those things to stick around. So because like
it's the first
it's in
written,
the desert too, right?
It's the first written instance of these lines being seen.
Okay, and this is in a desert, and seems like a long time for something like that to stick around.
Right. But I think the fact that it's in a desert where they don't get much wind or hardly any rainfall, they could be preserved for so long. Like it's the right perfect conditions.
Okay. Wait, so this is a weird off-topic thing, like we always do. You have to be like
heads up tangent.
Yeah. Tangent. We'll have a tangent marker.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Whenever
skip
these
ahead
guys,
50 minutes till we're done.
Yeah, I'll put a little note. What are these guys doing when they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna go"? Is it just like a revolving door of boats going across the ocean, or is this like, okay, we have one boat comes this year, and like 5 years later, another boat shows up? Like,
I think it's at first it started off this one boat. Like I would say, Christopher Columbus was the first one to do it, and then like Spain, because he was, he's Italian. Spain was the one that would that be called like gave him the funds to do this.
Okay, like funded it or
yeah.
Okay,
like they're like his sugar daddy. And then once he came back, reported, like brought indigenous people back with him, and like kind of told them about like what he saw and what was there, and then slowly
so through expeditions time, like, basically to like find out what's there.
It began trickling out, and then it got to the point, where like they're like other European countries are constantly coming here and taking people, killing people, resources,
taking things back. Yeah. That's how we find these ships.
Like tobacco, sugar.
There's like that ship they found recently that they're finally going to go after. It's like $1.7 billion.
Yeah, my stepdad just told me about that. He sent me an article. And they're like, it's supposed to be bringing up, like trying to bring it up the next couple of months, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Was a Spanish ship, like the San Jose or something like that? I think
they say it. But like also, I think, isn't there like tons of these ships out there? It seems like
there's gotta be.
The reason I'm bringing this up is there has to be so many ships going over there, then coming back, and a lot of them there's wood.
Yeah.
Storms are taking them down. I mean, there's got to be so many things down there. It's really awesome when you see those pictures, how much crap, like what happens to the wood over so many years. Like things just like the wood just obviously goes away, and then it's just left with this stuff, these like sea crustaceans, stuff covers it up, obviously.
Yeah.
And so, and then like stuff
becomes homes to a lot of
yeah. And so like it's whenever they show pictures of it, you're like, that's not a cannon. They're like, oh wait, you get closer, like, that's definitely a cannon.
Yeah.
But like, how would you? There's so many ships on there.
Yeah.
But they're all like disintegrated. Like you'll never know.
There's this. These aren't like ships from that period, but there's a guy I know from work. He does a lot of scuba diving. He does like these big scuba diving trips to like always live from other countries, and he went around. I forget where he was, but he's looking at like old like ships that had sunk during World War II, like planes and stuff.
In Hawaii, right?
It wasn't Hawaii. It was somewhere else. I can't remember where he said it was, but like that's a big thing, like a big business.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like going down there and looking at.
I know you can't touch things though.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to take anything. You're not even allowed to touch it.
Yeah.
You can only like fan it or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
But like, could you? Oh my god, could you imagine?
I
would never.
I was gonna say I can't. No. I couldn't scuba dive. Snorkeling I like doing, but like scuba diving, no.
Hell no. No. I don't even like being on a boat a lot of times. I'm not gonna go in the water by myself.
Don't you have a boat?
Well, yeah, but we're not going on the ocean with it.
No.
Remember we did do that once?
They had a pontoon boat.
Yeah, we rented it and went on the ocean. We're like, this is a bad idea.
Thunderstorm.
Yeah.
We had to like get it back.
Remember we like started driving. We're like, oh, this is amazing. And then like it's just like 11 guys on it, and then we like hit the brakes and the front went down.
God, dude, yeah.
It was too heavy in the front, and water started washing up. We're like, oh my god. Yeah, it was terrifying.
We didn't find no cool treasure though.
The water was also like 8 foot deep. Like we got out and stood in the middle of the water a lot of times because we were like towards a bit like when you go out into the bay and stuff. It was like the waves are huge.
Yeah,
and that was like not even a bad day.
No,
but like going on a wooden ship, no engine.
Yeah, right.
Just wind. Just hoping it's gonna wind. It's gonna be windy. Going across the ocean for months.
Yeah, like even like now, I see this. I keep seeing these videos of fishing ships in like what sea is that? With like the boats going just like straight down up these waves,
like the Alaskan Sea or something.
Dude, it's terrifying.
Like what's that one up in the north?
I'm trying to. I can't remember.
Northern Sea.
Maybe it's Northern Sea. Yeah.
The crab fishermen and stuff.
Yeah, that's like no, thank you. Man. You gotta be. I hope you get paid good for that.
Yeah, I think they only work a few months a year though.
Yeah.
So it's like a real like. It must be a tough job. I mean, they made a TV show, but I don't know how real that show was. But people still do it.
Yep.
Could you imagine going like the size of those waves?
No, it's terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's maybe we have some people out there that even they're like, you guys are dumb. I'm like, yeah, I'm yes, I'm dumb,
yes, and
I don't want to do that. That's leave for the people who actually want to do it and can do it.
Right.
I would probably slip right off as soon as one little
wave.
That's
what I'd be. Yeah.
Those guys are like sitting out there. There's like a big wave crashing over them. They're just like, all right, keep working. That's way more manly than I am and way tougher, men and women.
Yeah, right.
Because there's women that do it too. I'm just too much of a baby. Be terrified. I get cold. It'd be so cold.
Oh, cold and wet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to sleep.
Salt water.
I couldn't sleep because you're constantly rocking back and forth.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Salty.
Do you shower on those things?
I mean,
you'd be like real stinky.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
What if they like share a room with someone and they stink?
Yeah.
Fish smell all the time too. No.
I mean, I think that's just the whole ship.
Yeah.
You probably just get used to it.
I guess you'd have to. You have no choice.
Right in if you live on a ship and you
live on a ship. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work. Hey, we're gonna go back to Peru.
Yes, so we're back from our tangent. Timestamp that.
But I didn't even get to the point of like these people going across the ocean.
Yeah, right.
Like, and this isn't even a time when they're not even like they're just getting on a boat for months, going across the ocean.
Yeah.
To a place they don't even know if it even is out there.
Right.
Like a lot of times, especially in the beginning, they didn't even know what was out there.
No.
And then they get there, like I'm gonna
keep just trying to find new trade routes.
And then they got on the land, right? In this case, and they walked, right? Because this is on the western side of the continent. What I'm trying to get at is on the western side of the continent. So these guys ride this boat across the ocean.
Yeah.
Because they're coming across the Atlantic, I believe, right?
Yes.
They're not like they're going around the other side.
They
eventually they will.
Yeah, they would have had horses with them too.
And then.
Yeah.
And then they like get on there and they're like, hey, all these people that probably don't like us at this point.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna try to kill us.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna mosey through to the western side of this continent. I mean, even that would be hell.
Yeah.
Man, people were total badasses back in the day.
Right.
I mean, other than the whole genocide thing.
Other than that whole terrible thing. But yeah, like you have to
just like saying I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
All right.
All
fine.
right. Well,
yeah.
Here we are.
Yes, I'm gonna angry.
But going back, these lines that were created between 500 BCE, 500 CE, they consist of geometric shapes such as lines, triangles, and trapezoids, as well as more than 70 animal and plant figures, including hummingbirds, spiders, monkeys, whales, and trees, and even humanoid-looking figures. Some of the larger figures span hundreds of meters and are best viewed from the air.
From the air?
Yep.
How'd they get up there?
Well, I mean, today.
But how would they know that it was like? How did they? 1,000 meters?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
I mean,
like one of them is like bigger than like double the size of a football field, American football field.
Yeah, not that.
Not the wrong one.
Not the bad, boring football.
But
no offense.
Some are even still being discovered today because with these drones and stuff like that.
So this is just like they're so big. Like when you're on them, can you even tell what they are?
You could probably like the way.
It's a flat area. It's not like they're coming over the hills.
I mean, there are hills. There
okay.
are and some of these are built into the hills. So like depending on the terrain, you could be like. Hey,
so when this guy discovered them,
he thought they were just like pathways, like this. The creation of the Nazca Lines involved a meticulous removal of surface stones to reveal the lighter colored earth beneath, creating contrasting patterns. So, like, I remember watching some video like people doing a study, like digging it up, and then like digging up these stones and like rocks and like desert. It's not like when you think of desert, it's like not even the sand; it's like almost like a concrete looking kind of thing. But when they dig it up, it's like all white underneath.
Okay.
By doing that, they're creating like a negative. Like,
so there's like a crust on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a rocky crust almost.
Yeah.
I said much instead of almost.
The lines are crafted with remarkable precision, with some stretching for several kilometers, forming intricate geometric designs. It has been, and still is, heavily debated who constructed the lines, how they were constructed, and why they were created. Now, whenever we talk about who made something or how this happened, what's one of the things that usually kind of comes up?
Aliens.
Yeah.
Especially if it's from the sky.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
Right. That's some
like
people
who wants
believe.
to see it from the sky?
Going to that.
The big boys up top.
Yeah. But as I mentioned earlier,
this turns into an airship episode. Get very confused.
There will be a callback to one of the other episodes about the airship one.
Okay.
Actually, no, there might be a little. All right, that's right. As mentioned earlier, the first published incident of someone witnessing the lines was by the Spanish conquistador. He believed that they were just trail markers. Because some are just straight lines that go on for like a while. In 1926, a Peruvian archaeologist, here we go, Toribio Meja
Yep.
Zespi.
Put it all together.
Toribio Meja Zespi.
I wouldn't even be able to tell you if that was right or wrong, but it sounds good.
Probably not.
It's going to blow right through it.
He discovered some of the lines while hiking on foot in the hills. But it wasn't until the 1930s that they gained international attention as the advent of flight.
1930s.
Yep.
They were like, hey, this is actually a thing. They were flying around down there in the 1930s.
Yeah. Commercial airlines began flying over the region, allowing people for the first time to truly witness the grandness and scope of the designs. So you get finally able to see like them at their true like
commercial flight in the 1930s.
Apparently, man. I'm not saying like Pan America or anything like that, but like
not vacation flights. These guys are probably just like mail and stuff, maybe.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
So here we go, aliens.
Nice.
One of the lines.
I, for one, accept the aliens out there as our overlords and welcome them.
Oh, okay. I started watching a show with Kelly called The Three Body Problem. Have you heard of this? Seen this?
I saw it on Netflix or something. I saw a lot of articles written about it, and I was like, no, okay, here's what
It reminds
happened.
me a little bit of Dark.
Crap, don't say that. Did you finish Dark?
No.
Oh, there you go.
So we're watching this.
You can't say that.
So we're watching this and like, oh, we should rewatch Dark. Finish
you
it.
should. Amazing. But
science fiction. There's all this weird stuff going on.
Isn't it like
it's as if like physics aren't a thing anymore all of a sudden.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, that's kind of a neat premise. Like, what does that mean?
Is it a series or is it a movie?
It's a series.
Okay.
The first season's out. I think there's like 8 episodes. They're like all like an hour each or something like that. I didn't finish yet. We're only like 5 or something like that.
I saw a article and it really made me upset. It was a review of a product for the 3 Body Problem VR headset. I was like, what? And it was like, I guess the VR headset they have in the show.
Yeah.
And someone was reviewing it as if it was a real product on like a major website. And I was like, and so I was reading through. I'm like, this thing sounds like amazing. This is like awesome. And then like, oh wait, this is from the show. What the hell is going on?
Yeah. That's weird, man.
I hate the internet.
I guess it's based on a trilogy of novels. But the show's done by the guys that did Game of Thrones, so.
Oh, so it's going to be terrible at the end. Yeah. They're just going to be like,
the lighting's way better. You actually see what's going on, so that's nice.
Lighting?
Yeah, remember that being an issue? Like, people were complaining about one of the later seasons, like, you couldn't see anything. And like, one of the episodes was like, man, what was it? I don't know. It's where, like, the walls being stormed by.
It's dark out.
Yeah, but like, you couldn't see anything.
It's dark.
All right.
The hell of war. The fog of war, Jordan. That's what they called that. Maybe those people should get to the wall or whatever that guy was doing.
Maybe.
I just thought it was pretty cool over there. I mean, it sounded pretty cool. I don't know if they investigate that anymore. I don't really understand what the hell was going on with the children and the guy and the dark guy, the Death King or whatever the hell his name was.
Night King, yeah.
I didn't understand what the hell was going on with that.
Yeah.
Someone needs to explain that to me someday. Not right now, but I don't know what the hell those people are stabbing people and the thing and then the crow boy or whatever.
The crow boy.
He was just annoying.
Tiny little.
I like the tree dad or whatever his name was.
The tree dad.
Tree poppy.
Oh, Three-Eyed Raven.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know. I watched it once, got through it because everybody said I had to. Just like that other drug movie.
Drug movie?
Drug series.
Oh, Narcos?
No. You know, the one we talked about.
Oh, Breaking Bad. Sorry.
Yeah,
Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Gotta get it's a This is the cross I carry. All right, here we go.
One of the lines in particular brought about speculation of the origins or makers of the Nazca Lines. Dubbed the astronaut, this line resembles a humanoid-like figure. Apparently, it looks like he's wearing.
His name's the what?
The astronaut, because it looks like he's wearing a like astronaut helmet. You can see like a hand that looks like it's kind of waving. So in 1968, a Swedish writer named Eric von Daniken.
Oh yeah, von Daniken. Chariots of Fire.
Published
of
his
whatever.
book Chariots of the Gods.
Yeah, that's what it was. Chariots of Fire was that song.
Chariots of the Gods?
Yeah.
Which he speculated that these lines, along with other ancient structures like Stonehenge, couldn't possibly be built by humans, but rather alien visitors. The lines, according to Daniken, the landing spots of alien spacecraft.
I think it's Daniken.
Daniken, thank you. And these aliens were gods to the Nazca people.
This guy is like, if you listen to Coast to Coast AM ever, he's like the main person that is brought up a lot.
Yeah.
And if anybody out there has never heard of Coast to Coast AM in America, give it a wink. Just go look it up. It's awesome.
Sometimes I remember listening to that at night and it kind of gave me the creeps.
Yeah,
like talking about like
spooky
stuff.
Yeah, when you're a server and you get out like 2 a.m. or like when we're getting out of work and we're driving home, we're like, ooh, spooky.
Sitting in a hot tub listening to it.
Yeah, a lot of nights of that.
Mm-hmm.
Eating spaghetti in there. My parents had a hot tub that I used to eat dinner in there sometimes after I got home from work. And I dropped a bowl of spaghetti in there once.
Did it clog up like a...
I don't know, it was a while ago. And then I totally cleaned it up and no one was the wiser. I mean, it probably broke down over time. It was just noodles.
Right, yeah.
And then my wife dropped a ball and told them one day, like, she was like, hey, that's about when you drop the noodles. And my parents like, what? It's like, this is like brand new.
Oh, yeah.
Man. Those were the days.
Mm-hmm.
Dropping spaghetti in the hot tub.
Listen to Coast to Coast. But yeah, this guy kind of sparked like a craze with like alien craze with that book, like leading to things like today, like the ancient alien things with the guy's name,
Giorgio
Jesse
Tanakis or something.
Oh no, sorry, I was thinking the guy from Full House, Uncle Jesse Stopoulos.
Jesse Gonzopoulos.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
But yeah, like this guy's book. You said it's Daniken.
Daniken.
I thought I was saying Daniken. You said it's Daniken.
You were saying Daniken.
Okay, Daniken. This book made a lot of people believe that like a lot of these things, not just Stonehenge or the Nazca Lines, but even like the pyramids, were like these had been built by aliens.
And we're not saying that that's true or false. We're not taking a side here. We're just saying we're reporting it as it is.
Yes, it's kind of kicked off that craze.
The reporters that we are.
Yeah, right. We're just stating the facts. We're not the facts, but we're like
the facts.
Aliens.
Ancient aliens.
We're just giving both sides of the story. Maybe
we're just presenting information that's out there on the internet.
Yeah. You take it as you want. Others have agreed with Daniken's theory. Daniken.
Or Anakin. Anakin Skywalker.
There you go. Daniken's theory stating that due to the size of some of these shapes.
Those are some terrible movies. Star Wars. The first episodes. Go ahead.
All right. Let's not get into that. Due to the size of some of these shapes, some of them being thousands of feet, there's no way humans could make them.
No way.
Because they would have to have been done from above in order to produce something so large, precise, and intricate.
Okay, so the idea is that these things are so big that they wouldn't even know. Is the theory is like they wouldn't even know how to orient them or how to like actually draw
math
something
involved in that.
Right? So it's like trying to draw something on a piece of paper when your faces are up against the paper.
But most academics and scientists disregard this.
Describe it?
Disregard it.
Okay. Daniken and disregarding.
The Nazca people left no written record of the lines because it's prehistoric for that area. I think it's considered. So how and why would they construct these lines?
When you say prehistoric, I instantly think there's a Tyrannosaurus Rex running around stepping on these lines or something.
Prehistory, pre-written history.
Right. BCE.
BCE, yeah.
So they didn't keep records.
No, they did find like they created some art and like they were able to do pretty cool things, but like there was no written records of like what their society was like or how this would have been made. These lines.
Were they already gone by the time that Conquistador got there?
Yeah. And then that's another thing. People are like, well, where'd they go? Why'd they leave this place? Obviously, like, why would you want to live in the desert? But they were able to survive there for a very long time. People. So somehow they're getting water.
Do you think it was just like one dude out there, like, I'm going to mess with these future people?
I mean, isn't that
just like walking around like.
Isn't that what the crop circle people did?
Hammered drunk. He's just like, I'm going to screw with these.
So most scholars are like, okay, the Nazca people were able to do this.
It's like that guy from Florida that built he built an entire castle by himself out of like very heavy stones just to do it. And people were like, how did he do it? It must have been aliens. And it was like, basically, he was just like, I learned how to use used a counter lever.
Okay. Yeah.
And he was able to do it all by himself. Like, I think it was probably like it might have been like the 70s or something, but it's still there.
I didn't ever hear about that. That's cool.
I'll figure out the name of it, but.
The Nazca culture, which emerged around 200 BCE and flourished until around 600 CE, is credited with creating the Nazca Lines. That's the general consensus. Like, they were able to do this. Like, they were more capable than a lot of people previously thought.
It's always this case.
Yeah. Right. But not all of them. They're not credited with creating all of them because, as mentioned earlier, some of the geoglyphs predate the Nazca.
How would they know that? The geoglyphs that were made.
Yeah. Because the Nazca culture didn't come around until after some of these.
The Nazca?
Nazca, yeah. The ones that like.
The Incas?
No.
There's another culture now?
No, I've been saying the Nazca. Incas were around when that Spanish conquistador came.
Oh.
He's the first one that reported of these lines.
The Nazca people.
The Nazca people are the ones that made it.
I apologize.
I might not have even like clearly said that, so maybe might have helped people out there.
I apologize for not listening to you.
Do you hear me, Chris?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm trying to look up the castle in Florida.
Okay. The Nazca people were skilled agriculturists, which you'd have to be to live in a desert that doesn't get any rain, who developed sophisticated techniques for harnessing water from the Andes Mountains to irrigate their crops in the desert environment. Like, also, like, why were they even living out here?
Well, we talked about that before. Like, why do people build in hurricane zones? Why do people build entire cities in Tornado Alley?
Yeah. They constructed an extensive network of underground aqueducts known as puquios. Or puquios? Puquios.
Puquios? Sounds like a Pokemon.
Puquios, which allowed them to cultivate maize, beans, squash, and other crops in an otherwise unhospitable landscape.
I love maize. That's corn, right?
Like kind of like corn.
Cool. So you're saying that these puquios?
I think I don't know these.
So what do they reuse those to farm? Is that how it?
Yeah, they made these underground aqueducts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean
they're kind of a lot of them are still
so
there.
They were more industrious than people give them credit for.
Yeah. Because they eventually found these. They also built an extensive network of roads and trade routes connecting various settlements throughout the region. So they're thinking that like they were able to trade with people, other like cultures, like far away from them. Because like how else were they surviving?
Yeah, I mean, you figure we talked about that in the Liber Lentius story about, the Etruscan mummy that was.
That's right. Yeah.
The mummy that was wrapped with Etruscan language book.
Yeah.
So this is the Coral Castle, called the modern day Stonehenge of Florida. And one guy built it himself.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but like.
So it wasn't aliens.
I mean, probably he may have, and there's speculation out there. There's stories out there that he was an alien. Like, that's like the opening to it.
That's sweet.
Yeah, so we probably should have went there that one time we were down there. It's made out of limestone. It was 1887 to 1951. That's when it was right where we were too.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it a retirement community now?
No, it's just like man, we should have went there. Yeah, it's totally just around. That guy, he was busy. Makes me feel like I suck. I'm so tired.
He's tired all the time.
He probably didn't have a TV.
No, I mean not.
1951, he died.
Yeah. It is believed that the Nazca people used simple tools such as wooden stakes and ropes to outline the designs before moving the surface stones, but the exact techniques they employed remain uncertain.
As in the techniques they used to actually make these things human, like look whatever the design's supposed to be.
I was on like I think it's a website, like a travel website in Peru. They claim that in order to do the lines, like straight lines, the Nazca used wooden stakes attached by rope. They set the stakes as a guide in a straight line. This technique allowed them to repeat the process and draw very long lines and shapes.
And we still use those techniques to like when I build fences around my houses, like
like surveying stuff.
Yeah, like, and it's like there's a lot of, and if you want to make like a 90-degree angle, there's a 3, 4, 5 method where you measure one line is 3 from the corner where they meet to 3, and then 4 on the other one, and then the line between them should be 5. So if it's 3 inches, 4 inches, and then 5 inches, it should 5 inches. That means it's a 90-degree angle.
Oh wow! All right.
Yeah, that's how they. That's how they do it with strings. Like those concepts are like, oh, that makes total sense. Like so,
like tried and true kind of.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of like techniques like that different artisans and people in construction do. That's not like doesn't have to have a computer or anything.
Right.
But again, these are seem like pretty primitive people, but maybe we don't give them enough credit.
Right. I think that happens a lot throughout history. In order to do spirals, the inhabitants of the Nazca culture tied a rope to 2 or 3 posts in triangular patterns. Then they rotate to draw a growing spiral. In order to do some of the figures... oh,
that's pretty awesome. So as they went around the stake, it like got the string kind of pulled them in closer. That's awesome.
Let's see. So some of the figures, though, were designed and even painted to scale on canvas. To create them, the Nazca tied ropes to stakes and drew it in different proportions. And then from there, they could dig and remove stone within the constructed pattern to finally create their own intended image. And since it's the desert with little wind and next to no rain, apparently only rains about 20 minutes. They apparently only get 20 minutes of rain per year.
That's not a lot of rain.
They've been be able to preserve them for so long.
That makes sense. I'm surprised it won't blow away then. So
right.
I guess water is the one that would actually wash it away. Yeah. So wind doesn't really...
Does not really factor there.
Yeah. Maybe it's not as windy as we would think.
Yeah.
But
some researchers have proposed that the Nazca may have utilized surveying techniques or mathematics or maths.
Geometry?
Yeah, have you heard people refer to math as maths or like the subject of math as maths?
If I did, I'd probably just be like...
Like I've heard that and like it does...
I don't know who does that.
I don't know, man.
And if they do...
I think it's like, it might be like a
as an
British
academic
thing.
As an academic here, doctor. That sounds dumb.
It just doesn't sound right.
I mean, maybe it's not from our culture. Maybe it's not. Yeah, the maths. They mean like they just like, come to like arithmetic and geometry and trig.
Yeah.
And,
like mathematics. But rather than saying mathematics or math, is say maths.
I could see that. It's the same people that call them pods instead of podcasts. People are
pods?
Just too busy.
They can't pronounce the whole word.
I have no time to pronounce a whole word. Sorry.
Speaking of your airships, there's a theory, a pretty crappy one, that the Nazca developed balloons that can survey the land from high up.
Yeah.
When making the lines, but there's no evidence of that at all.
Oh. There's not like I just when you say that I imagine like a balloon of like a big balloon of like the blimp, but it's instead of saying like
the Goodyear
on it says like Nasca.
So it is like it's definitely seems possible that they were able to do this on their own, but why would they do this?
Why would you do it?
Yeah.
Again, we've talked about this many times. People are just bored.
They're in the desert.
There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, they got nothing else to do.
There's nothing else to do.
Right.
So why wouldn't you just do this? Are you going to go into theories about what they're doing?
About why they did this, yeah.
Okay, why they did it.
Yeah. Other than what we said about the aliens making them as landing pads.
So going back, like, there is no records of this at all. There's no surviving records of why they did it, how they did it. Not even folklore, like what's that called? the conversational history where like it passed down, the stories passed down.
Oh yeah.
Whatever that's called.
No, nothing like that.
So we're just kind of winging it here.
Yep.
People were just guessing on this one.
Well, yeah, educated people are guessing.
So education. Educated people are still guessing.
Right. So one of them is that it's astronomical, like it might dealing with the stars.
Is this a theory or is this?
Theory. Yep.
Okay, so we're on theories.
Yep. On June 22nd, 1941, American professor Paul Cossack conducted investigations item to a line's base. After a complete day dedicated to studying the lines, Cossack glanced up from his research and witnessed the sunset perfectly aligning with the line.
Always the sun.
Yeah, Cossack famously dubbed the expansive area of the high desert as the largest astronomy book in the world. So he thinks there's a
zodiac symbols.
Yes. Like these things align with a cluster of stars.
But how?
Apparently it's during the winter solstice or day following the winter solstice. I don't know if it has to do with it. But.
So like he was just in the perfect day? That's so convenient. Unless he went there specifically to like that. There was his theory, then great.
Yeah.
But
this is 1941. So it's I think it's kind of interesting that they're like, I don't know. German archaeologist Maria Reiche, Reiche. That's German, so I don't know.
Wait.
I don't want to say another way to pronounce it.
Okay.
Became fascinated by the Nazca Lines in the 1940s and dedicated much of her life studying, mapping, and protecting them.
With all joking aside about the Nazis, like,
and you have a German.
Yeah, like the Nazis were really big into like history.
Oh yeah.
Preserving it.
Apparently supernatural.
Tracking it down and stuff. Yeah. So makes sense why they would be investigating this type of stuff.
Yep. She lived near the lines for several decades. She's like moving out there and just lived by them. Apparently she would like push away like people that were like who were there to see them but weren't like respecting them. She would just like get off my land kind of thing.
We're going to talk about, so this is in South America.
Yep.
We're going to talk about someday. We're going to do an episode on if Hitler went missing or like if Hitler actually survived.
Like is Argentina? Is that like the big thing?
Yeah. But and then if you ever watch that show, Hunting Hitler, I think is what it's called. There's like 4 seasons of it on History Channel. Mm-hmm. One of your professors was on. It's like one of the main guys on it.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, we need to get a hold of him because I used to work with him too when I worked for that school. I was like, we need to get a hold of him and like get him on an episode because he was on the History Channel and he was involved in that investigation.
What?
He's like one of the main guys on the investigation. He's on the show for I think he wasn't on the last season for some reason. But like
that's awesome.
They did all the research and they submitted all the research to the FBI because it was pretty well known I guess it was like pretty well known by the FBI that Hitler was probably in Argentina, that he survived. And there's a lot of good information out there, but makes sense why this person would be down because like there was a lot of like safe houses all around the world for him.
Sure, yeah.
And like a lot of German people were in that part of South America
because they were given
there's a lot of stories about like
what's the right where they're given amnesty or like something like that. They couldn't be like
their Argentina leader at the time was basically like fascist, and that's they were
So Maria, they called her Lady of the Lines because she lived there for like 40 years or 30 or 40 years, just protecting
in the desert.
She bought. I don't know if she bought a house, but she lived in a house like not far from them, and would just constantly like clean them and like make sure no one was like stepping on them.
Clean them?
Like sweep them. I guess apparently like sweep any like debris that got on, like keep them preserved, kind of thing.
So for hundreds of years, they weren't swept, and she shows up like, I gotta sweep these.
I gotta sweep this.
It's like, this is my job.
Really
but like,
bored, maybe. But she.
So was all like the trash on there for the 100 years? It wasn't. It was all suspect.
She meticulously documented their patterns, alignments, and astronomical significance. So she also thought that had to do something with like a astronomical calendar.
I think that makes a lot of sense. The sky is the thing that...
Yeah, she said that some of the animals match groupings of stars.
So there was no astronomical sky map that people in this area followed?
No, I don't think so.
Like in the way that we have
no
records of it
no
in Western culture?
No. She also might have said they were markers for ceremonial rituals. Her work played a crucial role in raising awareness about the Nazca Lines and advocating for their preservation. However, though, in 1967, American astrophysicist Gerald Hawkins saw no changes in the star groupings and the design of some of the lines. So he's just kind of like, that's not the case.
Okay. So he kind of counter.
Yes.
As I mentioned before, academics never agree on anything.
Right.
Their entire purpose.
Some believe that the lines led to water.
Oh.
Water sources.
Why would they... Wouldn't it just be a straight line then?
There are some straight lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not just like just figures.
No. There's like straight lines. There's
because this person would just be like, walking, like, I can't find the water, and you're just walking around in circles.
Yeah. Why am I following this whale thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom, why am I failing this?
It was like, there's straight lines. Sometimes like trapezoids. So there's like geometric figures.
So there's a lot of. Did you have records of how many there are?
They're still finding. I think there's like thousands of them.
And of that size?
No, there's like small ones. They range. I don't know if thousands, maybe hundreds, but there's tons of them. You keep finding them.
Okay. I mean, it seems like a lot of work.
Yes. Just to be like, hey, go this way for water.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know.
But was there any way, maybe, I don't want to jump ahead. Is there any way did someone look into that and like try to see if there are water sources?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there was, what was the video? I saw some video online where this guy was going around with, I need to remember I put this in there. What are those, like when you use two metal?
Divining rod?
Yes. So apparently whenever he found a trapezoid shape that was lead, he found that usually it meant that there's a source of water nearby.
Aren't those like not real though? Like are not fake?
So there was like a scientist who was with him to try and figure this out. This is true. He's like, I don't really trust those things. Kind of like that's not really science.
Yeah, I don't think that.
I need to remember to find that video so I put it in here.
It seems insane.
Right.
I don't know if they're real. I'm not going to say yes or no because I don't know.
Like, you could do with any metal as long as it's not aluminum. And he's just like standing there.
But magnets aren't that powerful.
I want to try them. I think it'd be pretty cool.
We should get some and brand them. Get your own Mysterious Pals. Coming soon, Mysterious Pals divining rods. Yeah. Find all kind of crap in your yard.
Divining rods, yeah. So another theory is that it was ceremonial. Studies indicate that the Nazca people traversed the lines collectively, engaging in rituals and vibrant festivities accompanied by music and dance. I guess they found a bunch of those. What are those? Like the flutes, but there's like
pan flute.
Pan flutes. I think they found a bunch of those.
What is it?
I think they call them pan pipes because they're a little bit bigger than the flutes, but look the exact same.
Like the ocarina.
Hey, that's not a pan flute, is it?
I don't know.
No,
I can't remember. No, you're right.
Ocarina's its own.
You're talking about all the different.
Yeah, there's like those like different
size pipes.
Yeah. So it's like it was like made like it was like a festival kind of thing.
Okay. Celebration.
Yeah. Archaeological findings along the geoglyphs include ceramics, offerings, and potential remnants of architectural constructions. Moreover, scientific examination of the compact of soil on the lines underscores extensive foot traffic. These are being heavily used for some reason. Like
the Nazca Lines?
Yeah. They were like, clearly people have been walking around these.
Do you think it was like a primitive like Google Maps? Like,
I mean, yeah.
It's like, here, how do you get to this Bob's house?
Possible. Yeah, I mean, because like it is believed that they did travel to other societies, like throughout the
settlements or whatever.
Yeah, throughout like Peru itself to like trade. So this could have been like, hey, this whale one's for this group, and this.
Yeah.
Maybe like some people do think that.
It's kind of like the.
But like, why did you make them that?
There's probably
big?
Like, what if there's like some sport and that was like the logo for their teams of that area?
The astronauts, the killer whale, the hummingbirds.
Yeah, what was that show on Nickelodeon?
Guts.
No,
Legend of the Hidden
Temple. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's where
solve
it came
that
from.
mystery.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys later.
Yeah, what was that guy's name? Mark Summers.
Yeah, Mark Summers' Double Dare.
That was a dumb show.
I used to love Double Dare.
Yeah, but like if you go back and watch it, you're like,
Ugh.
but like they're just like, all right, everybody, oh you answered that question wrong. You're gonna do a challenge, and they're like, pull this stuff out of this guy's nose. And you're just like,
I don't know. It's for kids.
But it's like, it's funny how like modern YouTube like family vlog culture is like just basically that now. It's Double Dare.
Yeah.
Like open it. Like you ever see this channel? This is tangent warning. Yeah. Those like channels is like there's this one channel. This lady has like millions. I want to say millions of followers, but I don't know. And all she does is make slime eggs and stuff. Yeah.
Slime
and
eggs?
She like just breaks like slime. She makes slime and puts them in an egg. She has like her own slime maker thing. And then she's like, this is the blue one. Crush. Oh, look who's in there. Bluey. And then it's like, crush. Look who's in there. Rubble. And it's like,
people watch this?
Like 10 million views.
I don't like people. And
like, again, it's all probably kids, but it's like, there's so many YouTube videos out there. And I'm not saying who's to say what's good and bad, right? But like some of them are just, you can't use that stuff. But like some of them are just so exploitative. Some of them are just like so crazy simple, or like it's someone playing with like a toy, millions of views because it's just kids watching it.
Yeah.
And they're just gaming a system. Totally, God bless them.
Good for them.
You know, go for it. But some bad stuff out there. How'd we get there?
Don't remember. I don't know.
Guts. No. Double Dare.
Double Dare. Legend of Hidden Temple. Yeah, we're trying.
Nasca
Mike O'Malley.
Really?
Was that the guy's name that hosts that? He was on Yes Dear.
Who?
Remember the show Yes Dear?
Yeah, I like that show. I still watch it.
Yeah, Greg's brother-in-law. Didn't he host?
Brother-in-law?
Didn't he host Legend?
The guy that always wear a hat?
Yeah, didn't Mike O'Malley? Didn't he host?
I don't know.
Temple? Or was that Guts that he hosted?
It wasn't Guts.
All right.
I think Summers hosted Guts.
He hosted one of those shows.
But like, Legend of Hidden Temple was, I was like as a kid watching that, and they're like, oh my god, that kid just got taken by that evil person. You know, like those like guys were dressed up as like, and they would as demons or whatever, and they would take the kids back, and you're like, oh my god,
where did he take them?
Yeah, they're gone.
Straight to
it's
hell.
Like, what was that other video game one where they put them in the game? Remember that game show on Nickelodeon?
Oh yeah. They're on like the green screen. You have to like watch them like do like,
and you're just like, oh my god, they're in a game.
Yeah.
And you're like
doing the side
scrolling, and you're just like, you go back now, you're like, this is so dumb. Like the kids just like that? Just moving.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. TV was so much better. TV was so much better. All right, we're down.
A certain cactus native to Peru containing mescaline would be consumed in religious ceremonies to talk to the gods.
What's mescaline?
It's like one of those ones that like make you trip.
It seems like all plants do that. The more I'm hearing about this stuff, it seems like ancient people just ate whatever they could find, and if it made you high, that was like.
But by doing so, they're like, oh, I can talk to the gods now.
Oh, okay.
These ceremonies where they might ingest this plant, would get them high. Could have been for religious ceremonies or ceremonies for fertility. Rather than lines pointing to water, there were areas of the Nasca pleaded for water.
There were what?
So, like I said, there's that theory that like these lines might have
went to the water.
But they're saying the lines are maybe like the symbols themselves, like the big anal ones, stuff like that, where areas where they go have this big like ceremony and plead for water.
Okay, that makes sense.
So maybe someone weren't getting water as easily as like they thought, obviously because there's not rain, but they did find these aqueducts, but maybe there's times that like they weren't getting any water.
So it was like almost like they were doing this to please gods?
Yes.
Okay.
Like they'd have some kind of big ceremony, like a bunch of people would go, and they do some kind of ceremony. They would like, hey, we need water bad.
I mean, it makes sense when you think about answering the question of where they went. Those people, the Nasca people, they probably just like,
we're tired of this.
Like,
we need water really bad. But they survived for like like hundreds of years.
Do you think there's much of like change to their climate and their? Like, was it one time that I guess I wouldn't have to because they wouldn't have been washed away. Like, was it like for a while that was like,
apparently it wasn't as bad as it is now there, but it was still like
it wasn't. It was still a desert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In his book, The Nazca Lines, A New Perspective on Their Origin and Meanings, Johann Reinhard, a National Geographic explorer in residence. So he's an explorer in residence. I don't know what the hell that means, but
sounds like a rad job.
That's his job.
Can you imagine being an explorer in residence?
It just sounds cool.
Like your job is just to explore.
Yeah, basically.
Wherever you in residence. Like apparently whenever something comes up to be explored, they got to call that guy in.
Yeah.
He's like sleeping in the back, and then like he slides on a pole, gets in his like Jeep.
Yeah.
Goes off and explores.
Sounds like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but with less learning. less teaching classes.
Yeah. You actually just get to go do the cool stuff.
Yeah. I love the new age of like explorers. Like YouTube, there's like people that are explorers, quote explorers.
Right.
It's pretty awesome that they're just making it happen.
Yeah.
They can make it happen, you know.
Do you think they have jobs doing that? Or that job is now like
probably not at the beginning, but you know. You have a family member who was archaeology.
She's known for anthropology. But she had to take some archaeology classes.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the difference? I don't know.
Anthropology studies like past people. Archaeology is like I
didn't know that.
Goods that they use, like tools and.
Oh wow! I didn't know that was separate.
I mean,
anthropology.
They overlap.
What's it called whenever someone's an anthropologist? Then they study any peoples.
Yeah. So they usually like focus on like a certain
era. Or something. Yeah. Okay. Well, you live every day, and you learn every day.
Yeah. There you go. The more you know.
You're welcome out there.
Reinhardt says it seems likely that most of the lines did not point at anything on the geographical celestial horizon, but rather led to places where rituals were performed to obtain water and fertility of crops. He goes on to say that spiral designs and themes also had been found in other ancient Peruvian sites. Animal symbolism is common throughout the Andes and are found in the biomorphs. Biomorphs are like, it's saying the plants and the animals that were drawn. The biomorphs draw upon the Nazca Plain. Spiders are believed to be the sign of rain. Hummingbirds are associated with fertility. And monkeys that are found in the Amazon, which is an area with abundance of water. Is this so good?
I would say, did these people know about the Amazon? Was there any records that they had been to the Amazon?
No.
How far away is the Amazon from here?
Oh, geez.
Is it on the other side of the continent?
Yeah.
Or the country?
Yeah, like.
Amazon's over in Brazil, right?
Yes. That goes through like other.
Yeah, but on that side.
They're just saying like.
We're on the other side.
He's saying like the monkeys that were found.
Because they trace the shape of that monkey and like say like they're probably from this part of the Amazon or something.
Yeah, because like where were they seeing a monkey?
That's what
before?
I mean. I'm wondering.
Yeah.
So they
had to trade with these people because they're not seeing hummingbirds and monkeys and you know what I'm saying. So they had to have been trading, and maybe they're like, oh,
what would be the thought pattern?
There's a lot of water here in the Amazon. There's monkeys here, so maybe if we draw like these monkeys, we'll get water here.
Okay.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that earlier because like at first I was like, oh yeah, there's a desert and they're drawing these things, but like when would they have seen these things?
Right. That's what instantly jumped out. I was like
a killer whale.
What?
Monkeys?
Yeah, where would a whale be?
Hummingbirds, like.
Why would they even see a whale? There's not a whale laying in the middle of the ocean. And if they can get to whales, why don't they just go live where that is? There's water.
So yeah, they're not. I mean, they're far from water. Like they're not far from the ocean. They're actually not that far from a. Oh God, what's the name of the river that they're not too far from?
The Amazon River?
No. There's a Rio Grande River there. Not ours, but like that's what it's called there, and that close to that general area. But like, why aren't they just going and living
on that
river or like close to the ocean? I don't know.
Something sounds like these.
But they would have seen some of these things at some point, right? That's what I'm saying. Like they definitely had to have traded with people to survive.
Yeah, but why wouldn't they just be like, "Oh, we're trading with you. Can we just follow you back?
Can we live with you guys?
Yeah, can you please just take us? Yeah. We're dying out here. It's so hot.
Could just stay with you till I get back on my feet. I'm in between things right now.
But it's like, why wouldn't the people that are trading with them be like, "Hey, man, just come with us"?
I don't know.
Like, it's so hard to live out here. Well, then just come with us. Listen, I know I wouldn't have lasted in the ancient world, but like, at least I'd have been like, "Hey, dude, let's walk this way for a little bit. Let's
go check this out over here. This is not working.
This seems too hot.
This is not working.
Nothing's growing. Can we just walk this way just for like a day?
It's a day. Let's give it a day.
And if nothing there, we'll stop. Because it's got to be the same thing.
Right. The idea that these geoglyphs were places for rituals is further substantiated by a team of archaeologists led by Christina Conley, who I think in like the early 2000s, maybe mid-2000s. Her and her team found a headless body while excavating in Peru.
A headless body?
Yep. The body was inside a tomb in a seated position. The way it was
like a human body?
Yeah.
Oh.
The way that it was like sitting led them to believe that it was a ritualistic sacrifice. Next to the body was a ceramic pot with a killer whale painted on it. And both the killer whale and headless human are depicted in the Nazca Lines. They were thinking maybe also these spots they were killing, like doing rituals killings to appease the gods for rain.
Like in the mouth of the whale, there's like dead bodies. So wait, this is just in a cave?
Yeah.
In Peru?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Near the lines.
But why? Where did the whale come from? Do you think the whale pot was traded with them? And they took it back and were like, we should paint this thing.
I don't know.
Seems weird.
Yep.
Was it actually a whale or was it more like a fish?
Apparently it was a whale.
Okay.
A killer whale.
Oh, do those hang out down there?
Shamu. Oh, maybe.
Okay. I'm not a whaleologist. I don't know where they hang out. I'd imagine it's somewhere around there then.
Yeah. So
whaleologist.
They noticed that the Nazca people disappeared and the lines stopped being made around the same time.
Was there any record of civilization anywhere in that area?
There's remains of like people, like stuff there.
Buildings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was reference. There are
like towns.
It wasn't just one guy doing it.
No. They weren't just like living in like shacks in the desert. Like there's remnants of like towns and like like main centers of like whatever
city centers or whatever. Yeah. Settlements.
So yeah, the lines stopped being created or being made, and Nazca disappeared around the same time.
Do you think they had like livestock and stuff? They raised livestock, any type of thing like that? They call that husbandry.
But I mean, in the desert again, like where are you going to get it?
I mean, there's people now in desert areas that raise goats and stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I mean, they're I don't know how
mountain goats.
Yeah. Like, what do they eat?
Plants that they somehow were able to grow.
There had to be some kind of game out there, like something they had, like wasn't like just totally death, right? Totally death.
Well, apparently they were able to, like I said, make maize and like what was the other stuff I was saying?
Oh, okay.
They were able to grow stuff like beans, squash.
But 20 inches of rain a year or something, you said?
Yeah, at most.
So then they hit the water aquifers and stuff.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, where'd they go? Why'd they leave?
It's hot.
Yeah.
It's dry.
They said they
Could you imagine how much lotion they needed?
They disappeared around the 600 CE, 600 AD.
Oh, okay, CE. 600s, they disappeared.
Yep.
So
it's either they were like, hey, we can't live here anymore. It's inhospitable. So
was it
left.
like all the settlements?
Like the Nazca people themselves in that area. They're like, is this
how many? Did they ever speculate how many people there were?
Not that I
height of their civilization.
Not that I didn't see anything. I'm sure that it's something like that's out there somewhere. But they're saying either like they're like, we can't live here anymore. Let's leave. Got integrated in another society. Like you're like, hey, like you're saying, like why don't they just leave? Maybe they were. War happened and they were kind of wiped out, or
they're just throwing sand at them. Like, hey!
Or, do you remember in that episode we did about the worst year in human history?
Yes.
That one volcano, that super volcano that went off in Iceland?
536 or whatever.
This could have been it.
Oh. They'd probably be like, oh, awesome. It's not hot anymore. That stuff was growing everywhere.
Temperature dropped 30 degrees. This is great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But they probably couldn't grow anything.
Yeah. So that could have done it.
Yeah, that's a connection, huh?
Yeah.
So around 600. Oh, obviously, that could be give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it might have been around the same time.
Yeah.
That dropped the global temperature.
Yeah, like I think it was like 30 degrees.
So people in like the Amazon were like freezing.
Yeah. These guys were like, this is kind of great.
Yeah. Like, let's go check out the whales now.
That's that, Chris.
So, okay. What do you think the hell was going on then? What are your theories on this?
I think it's definitely possible that they had something to do with like some kind of religious thing, like for rain, or like something to do with like appeasing their gods, even if it's just celebratory kind of thing too. But some of them are so big. Like, why do they need to be that big?
Seems like from what you're
Maybe
explaining,
to appease their gods more, like making some that big. I don't know.
So what you're explaining, it does sound like they were really big, and insofar as they couldn't maybe even see what they drew.
Yeah, I remember seeing somewhere like there's some you can't even see unless you're up in the air. But then I saw somewhere else on one of the websites like you can see them. You just have to go you have to be in the right spot, like at a certain mountain spot to see them. But it's like again,
so they could be like in a valley, and they could be up on the top.
Yeah.
So
some of them are even up on the mountains. Like I don't know.
On the side of a mountain, you mean?
Like on like actually on the mountain itself.
Plateaus and stuff.
Yeah.
So these guys are just, it seems like they should have spent more time like farming and stuff and like getting water.
Goofing around.
Maybe instead of walking around, they get some buckets of water with you on their way back or something. Jesus. That's crazy.
I don't think it's aliens.
For me, I think it has to be aliens. Who else would see these?
Duh.
Yeah. They're appeasing them so they don't get attacked.
Yeah, yeah.
But also more, actually, what I think is, I like the idea of them being like directions to places. Like, this is where we store our whales, like labels or something, but no, I mean, like, I think the lines of like how to get to certain areas, like a mapping system, a road system, but it's a desert, so it'd be like, just walk over to that.
Yeah, that's the
just
thing.
Walk over to that.
Right, yeah, just go that direction.
Yeah.
I can see the lines being that, like, there's just straight lines. Yeah, just being that case, like, go this way for, like, this place people we trade with, go that way for, whatever else.
Yeah, yeah. There was probably no markers, though, like, but I would love it to be more of, like, a...
Also, they're not, like, as far as we know, like, for this area's prehistory, so they weren't writing anything yet.
Right. There was no records of what they were doing.
No. But they were, like, intelligent enough to, like, come up with, like, this stuff.
Was there any... Yeah, they came up with the geometry of it.
Yeah.
They had to be getting that from someone.
Right.
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe. But, like, were anybody or other civilizations, like, in the Amazon or that they'd been trading with, ever have records of them trading with them? Any stories of that?
Not that I saw.
Yeah.
No.
Seems like, obviously, there was a lot of people around that time. A lot of things going on in this era, like, this time frame that they were around.
Mm-hmm.
Where did they go? Where did they come from? Why would they stop there?
So
I would love it to be like more of like the Harry Potter, like Hufflepuff and like
the schools.
Like so that's like you go over. Oh, it's the whale school. Don't go over to those guys suck. Yeah. But go over here to the astronaut school. Those guys are rad.
Right.
I want to go there. I don't want to get accepted to that school.
So apparently the Nazcas came from a previous society or culture called the Paracas. Parcas.
Okay.
They derived from that, and they were further north. Then at some point, for some reason, the Nazcas came down further south and decided to stay in the desert. I don't know, weird.
Maybe something. Do you think it went back to like the ice age, mini ice age or ice age thing that kind of pushed them down to the warmer climates?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if the time was the timing of that, but.
Because like there's all that sort of like I've been watching a lot of stuff about the Younger Dryas and that like era when like and it's really crazy because maybe we'll talk about it sometime, but like the way there was like an ice sheet that took over a lot of North America, and then like an ice wall almost, and then it started receding as things started heating up over thousands of years, and then like at some point there was like this gigantic lake that was like as big as a couple states or something broke through whenever the ice, and it like was the biggest rush of water ever
okay
of the world. And like even in places in I want to say western United States, like northwestern, like Idaho, like that area, there's like you can actually see where the water like created waves in the ground. It was so strong. Like, but they're like huge.
When did this happen?
It's called the Younger Dryas. It was like maybe millions of years ago. But that's where if you ever look about the mounds, the mounds in North America.
Yeah.
That's like they think that was those people were on the same time.
Okay.
Was creating those things, and like almost that those people like built those things going towards the ice wall. And as it started, then that big then that's when the younger dry ice is whenever it started warming up, and then it caused the back to like come back.
Okay.
Because it was such a huge thing that caused crazy flooding and
I
froze everything
never heard
again.
of that. That's pretty.
But like,
wow, damn.
As things come down, I guess I don't really know if the ice age was like as things came down from the North Pole with things coming up from the South Pole.
Yeah.
I don't really know. That's really something I never thought about.
But
also, I don't think anything really touches the South Pole like the way that Canada touches.
Yeah.
I don't know if the ocean froze or something up that way, but apparently it's really cool, really interesting. I heard it off that new guy, the Minuteman guy, Mini Minuteman. He talks about the younger dry ice and stuff, and these he basically just. I think he was even his videos about how there's it might have been Van Daniken. Nah, he's dead. There's another archaeologist or geologist. I think it might even be an anthropologist or that his new Netflix show, and it's about ancient aliens basically.
Okay.
And this Minuteman kid. He's not a kid. He's a college graduate in archaeology. He basically goes through like the entire show and says everything's wrong with it. It's really good, but he does so much research and has like talks to experts and stuff. And he's basically just like he talks about the mounds and how they're actually not made by aliens.
Okay.
And like kind of says why his guy's wrong with us. But there's like amazing. There's amazing stories in there and pictures in there about and apparently in that episode like those You ever see like that pyramids are built all over the world, and they're like, why do all these people build pyramids?
Yeah.
And like that's kind of like one of his basic arguments. Like, why do all these people know how to build pyramids? And they're like the pyramid. I want to say it's in like Southeast Asia somewhere. And it's like the rocks are like hexagons almost.
Okay.
And like the entire mountain's made out of them. And they're saying that like that's a pyramid, but it's really just a mountain. And then he kind of goes into like the geology of it. But anyway, I'm probably messing that up. But go watch the show. Mini Minuteman. Maybe if I remember, I'll put a link in here. But what was I talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe that kind of ice.
Oh yes,
the mini ice age may push those guys out of.
Yeah.
Maybe it was uninhabitable, but that's so they might have been closer to the equator, so maybe that doesn't make sense. They were actually, I don't know.
But I'm not going to go into them, but there are those other like lines that have been found, or kind of similar things have been found throughout the rest of the world, but not to like this extent.
Isn't there one in like Europe for like the?
Yeah, there's one in. I know there's one in somewhere in England. It's like a dog or a horse or something like that.
Yeah, isn't there one for like the Crusaders?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I guess there's like a one in Ireland. Might be Ireland.
Yeah, I think Ireland.
There's like a naked dude.
Yeah. Cool.
I think there's one in
Kazakhstan.
That's
just a guy partying.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
This reminds me of the time whenever whenever I was like in high school and I didn't want to cut the grass at my parents' house. They're like, go cut the grass. It might have been like middle school or high school. I think it was high school, early high school. I was like, I don't want to cut the grass. They're like, go cut the grass. I'm like, I don't want to cut the grass. They're like, dude, it's hot out there. So I went outside and I took the gas in the can and was like dumped it all over the yard, like making like circles and stuff. And then I was like, oh, the gas is gone. I don't know. We don't have any gas. Can you get some gas? And they're like, my parents were like working. And so I was like, they called me. They're like, well, did you cut the grass? I'm like, no, there's no gas. I couldn't get to the gas station. I don't drive. They're like, why is all the grass dead out here in circles and stuff? We had gas. I know we had gas, but you drew circles over the yard with the gas.
We used to light tennis balls on fire with gasoline and like smack them at each other. Cool.
Yeah.
I hate cutting the grass, man. I used to hate that.
Solder children. Remember the ball on the roof? Yeah. And they found it in the yard?
Yeah.
Another episode. All right. So we have no answers. Any more theories?
No.
I think they just I want to say that I mentioned that like they were so big, they're making it for someone up in the sky. Makes sense, the kind of theories, but like it makes the most sense they were making them to appease gods. Because that we find that all around the world with ancient cultures. I
think it might have also been like a competition, like, hey, did you see that spider Carl did? I'm gonna do a big bird instead. Like he's kind of outdoing each other.
Yeah, it's like a neighborhood thing. It's like, oh, I'm gonna make a whale. Yeah. Screw Ted. He sucks. You see his spider? His head's all wonky.
Yeah.
And then there's like it had to be a show off. It had to make the astronaut man.
Right.
God, it never ends. humans are always trying to one-up each other.
Yeah.
Some guys are like, I'm going to make a straight line. Like, you can't make a straight line.
I'll do a trapezoid then.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to do a monkey.
My line's going to be straighter than yours. They're just probably so bored, waiting for traders to show up.
Yeah. With food. Probably just losing their minds because dehydrated.
Like, all we have to drink is this old water we found on the ground. Yeah. Well, Jordan, thank you for bringing this to my attention.
Yeah.
Thank you for making me realize that there's a lot of crap out there that we don't understand. And I want to say thank you to our listeners. We are chugging along here with ideas and stories. So if you have any, we would love to hear from you.
That'd be nice, yeah.
Yeah. We are working some things in the background to expand the operations. Maybe some stuff on Twitch sometime in the future. We'll see. Look out for that. If you are someone who follows us on social media, we'll post that stuff on there. We are on all social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram. And Threads for some reason. Twitter.
For some reason.
X. There's a lot of other new ones out there. I don't really know what ones to use these days, like Blue Skies and Mastodon.
I don't know.
Blue Skies is the one apparently the guy who started Twitter went and started.
Oh.
It's a decentralized one, they call it. I'm not really sure how it works. I haven't really looked into it a lot. I hear a lot of stories about it. I'm interested in how the theories behind it, but...
Are we on TikTok?
Yes, we are on TikTok. We don't get a lot of plays on TikTok. Most of our shorts are just uploaded there, which are also on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, we're on YouTube at Mysterious Pals. If you listen to us audioly, in the audio format, we are also, you can catch the live, not live, you can catch the pre-recorded video podcast on YouTube. If you want to see our faces, I don't know why, but
why not?
We have other stuff on there that we're going to be posting on different type of stuff we'll put on there or whatever. But if you're watching and you want to hear us on the go, we are on all major podcast platforms, and we always would love to hear from you in the form of an email or a comment or something on a video at, if you want to email us, at mysteriousPalsonline@gmail.com. All those links are on the bottom in the description.
Yes.
And next week, we're going to be back with just something that I had a lot of fun with after researching so much murder.
Yeah.
And
a palate cleanser.
And it was something that I was like, man, this is going to be awesome. And then I realized how insane the topic was. But you have to stay tuned next week. Same mysterious place, same mysterious time, meaning whatever time I hit the post button. We will see you next week. Jordan, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Chris.
And
thank you, listeners.
Thank you, listeners. I love you all.
Watchers. And
we will see you next time here aboard Mysterious Express.
Choo choo.
Choo choo, sakes, mysterious. Coming through town. Ding ding. Good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.